Hello everybody, how are you? Welcome to Q&A Tuesday. It is a overcast day here in Phoenix, Arizona. Surprising, we're in the middle of monsoons, so we could get some rain today. We got a heck of a lot of rain yesterday, which you would think rain is like the coronation of a queen. When we get rain here, it is all people talk about for a long time. It is the craziest thing I've ever experienced. Anyway, I want to talk to you today about Q&A Tuesday. The theme for this week was goal setting. I got a lot of questions. Excuse me, I put a mint in my mouth and then decided to do this. I got a lot of questions, but I kind of picked the overarching themes. And the overarching themes were really, I can't stick to my goals. My goals don't, I think my goals are great whenever you do it, January 1st or whenever you set goals. I'm one of those crazy people. December 31st and January 1st, I am locked in on goal setting. Now, there might be some partying in between that time too, but I am totally locked into setting my goals for the next year. And then for the, I do 1 year, 3 year, 5 year. Keeping in mind that these were always going to change. It's always a fluid document because what lights me up January 1st might not necessarily light me up 4 months from then or 10 months from then or 3 years from then. But I like to have guideposts. I kind of like to have an idea where I'm going. So for those of you that wrote saying your goals aren't working for you, it just, you sit here 6 months later and say you don't want to do it, that's okay. Throw the document away. Start over again because we change, we're evolving. So what you wanted to do January 1st, you might not want to do now. But also ask yourself, are these goals that are really causing you to stretch? Are these goals that are really moving you out of your comfort zone? Because if they're not, then that's half the problem. Your goals have to light you on fire and scare the crap out of you all at the same time. I look at my goals sometimes and think, really? Oh, I don't know. They've got to be really empowered. They've got to be intense because otherwise you'll hesitate. The other thing I find is people don't write their goals down, or they write them down and they don't keep looking at them. You have to keep looking at them to keep you locked in. It's easy to change pathways. It's easy to say, well, that's kind of hard. And so you kind of get away with it. But if you keep a journal and you keep looking at your progress, you're going to notice when you're sitting there one day looking out your window thinking, well, maybe I'll never get on Super Soul Sunday. And yes, that's one of my goals, is to be on Super Soul Sunday and meet Oprah. I know. But I swear to God, I believe I will achieve it. I am so locked in on it. And that's kind of the other thing with goals. You have to be able to visualize it. You have to see yourself achieving that goal. You have to know that, I'll put my glasses on so I can see this. Oh, hey, Joe, how you doing? Hey, Maureen, I learned set my goals every quarter and I tweak them as I go. And that works for you. Some people, it doesn't work for them, the constant course correction. I know some people that do their goals once a year and don't look at the document until the end of the year and see where they come up on. So everybody kind of works differently for everybody else. But if you don't have goals, you won't know where you're going. Everybody always says it's kind of like if you're traveling from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to Laguna Beach at night with your lights off, could you find your way there? Well, absolutely, because even if you don't have your lights on, you can still find the road post that will guide you through. And that's kind of like goals. Goals will kind of guide you through the pathway. Again, keeping in mind that you can change them. They're your goals. But getting back to visualization, you have got to really see the goal in your mind. You've got to see it as if you have it today, because I believe visualization is so important. And I don't mean visualization like they had in The Secret, where I forget what guy, I think it was Michael Dooley, who was sitting on the cars pretending to be driving his Ferrari. That only gets you so far. You've got to be able to see the car, touch the car, feel the card, but you got to also leave your living room and take action. And that's the other thing a lot of people forget about goals. I have a lot of friends that want to write books, and they'll call me because I've written 3, and they'll say, well, how'd you do it? Well, I made the decision, I set the goal, and I wrote the book. Well, you've got to have empowered goals, because you can't just say, I'm going to write a book. You have to have where you're going with the book. What do you want the book to be about? And my book came out in September. I've changed the title once already. I'm getting ready to change the back cover. I mean, to me, books are works in progress. So whatever you declare you want to do, keep in mind it's a work in progress. what you might have thought was a great idea, and you start doing this, and you apply for this job, and you get this job, and you decide 3 months later, especially if you're a millennial, 3 months later you don't want to do the job. That's okay, as long as you have the overarching word you want to get to. Because you have to know that you're heading to Laguna Beach. Because if you don't know if you were heading to Laguna Beach, you could end up in Bismarck, South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana. Ah, well, I didn't do so well in geography in school. Well, I didn't do well in school anyway, let's face it. Like I said, I graduated in the bottom 5%. And I decided I'm going to submit to my high school to send me my transcripts. I don't have them any longer, so I can see how bad I really did. But I can assure you that in geography, I did bomb that handily. No problem in that one. Clearly flunked it. So anyway, so have your goals, make them empowered, make sure that it's what you want to do and not what somebody else wants to do. I see a lot of people set goals and I'll be like, well, why did you choose that goal? Well, my mother, my father, or my husband or wife thought it'd be a great goal for me. But why? It's not your goal. You have to set what you want to do. Because if you continue to allow people to dictate to you what they want you to do, then you lose a piece of you. And each time that you lose a piece of you, that piece is gone until you can realize it and bring it back within you. And that kind of goes down the road of childhood imprints, which I talk about a lot, but this is goal setting. So I think those are the questions I got. Like I said, I was able to combine them together. If you're interested, on August 8th, I will be doing 4 steps to reclaim your inner warrior, how to heal your past to have an amazing future. It'll be a webinar I'm very excited about. It's my first webinar. But I've had, again, some people ask me to do more global training. One-on-one training is great, but I don't, as I tell people, I have a real job. I have a paying job that I have to do that I love doing. So I can only do certain things in evenings and weekends, so I kind of have to be more global, to do webinars, and to be on Super Soul Sunday. Because I'm sure one of these webinars Oprah will look at and she'll be like, I gotta have that girl on there. So I hope this helped you guys a lot. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a great day. If you're in Arizona, it's overcast, dreary, and I think I'm gonna do a Facebook Live later about what happens in the city when it rains. Because people just go crazy. So anyway, if you have any other questions about goal setting, just write it down below. If you're on Facebook, put your questions below. If you're on my website, and if you're on my YouTube channel, Karen Barno, give me a subscribe and let me know your questions. Thanks a lot, you guys. Have a great Tuesday. Bye-bye.